But what I'm going to talk about tonight is queens. You know there are three types of bees in the hive, right? Mm-hmm. There's the drones and there's the workers. There's only one, shall we say, normal or complete bee in the hive, and that's the queen. The others are either has half the chromosomes, and in fact you might say a drone is some people refer to it as a flying sperm, because the sperm normally has haploid, as they call it in genetics, half as many genes as a normal human being, okay, or a normal bee. So that's what they are, and I think it's pretty descriptive. The bees sometimes do produce diploid drones, but they destroy them. They don't let them. They destroy them in the cell. They don't let them mature. But there is such thing as a diploid drone. And this characteristic is not just true of honeybees, but it's true of other bees, and it's also true of most of I guess maybe all of the wasps. Their diet's different, but they still have the way of having drones that are haploid, and haploids can't sting, and that's a good thing. A few years ago, there was a study made with one of the major queen producers in South Georgia, and the question was, with all these chemicals you're putting in your hives, is it poisoning the queens? Well, in this case, they made a comparison of using the plastic cups for grafting versus using the wax cups to make their graft in. You know what I'm talking about, a queen cup? Mm-hmm. Any questions about that? That's sort of a starter place for them to raise a queen, a hive of bees. And in that study, they found out that there was a lot of difference in the health of the bees that were raised in plastic versus in in this case, the polluted wax, if you will, because of the chemicals in it. There are still some, in spite of that study, people are still raising them in wax in South Georgia. Some of them are, but where this study was done, it was done on Reg Wilbanks, if you guys know who he is. On his apiary, and as I understand it, he stopped using them because he was impressed by the study. But unfortunately, you're starting out a lot of times with a damaged queen, a queen that's going to be superseded or is not going to be able to produce the brood that you need and do the job. When we and also they're often pulled too soon. Because of pressures on, they pull them probably in 2 weeks. We don't pull ours for 3 weeks. And we do it because we want to make sure they're laying a good pattern in where they are. But that makes a little extra work, of course. But we're not really in the queen producing business. I raise queens and I sell some queens, but it's really not, it's not the thing that brings us in profit. I think I know every method that's ever been used. No, not all of them. Of course, nobody knows everything. But I know a lot of different ways of raising queens. And we just sometimes we'll rotate from one method to the other method of use of raising. And the thing that if people raise queens, want to start raising queens, they have to try to conquer the grafting. That's the big hurdle. And it's really not the difficult thing. It's the easiest thing. In fact, I would stop just a moment and say that raising queens is the most easiest thing I do, and the results are most predictable of anything I do in the bee business, because it's just plain easy. All you have to do, they have these Chinese grafting tools now. You don't have to prime them, the cells. You take that little grafting tool and you slide it right down the side of the cell, and this is where people make the mistake. They try to shovel them up. You start down the side of the cell and you raise it straight up. Okay. And you look, I don't see very good, but I can graft. Okay? And most people, if they get over 40, say they can't. And the reason I can do it is first I have to locate where the root is I want to graft, and then I don't have to look down in the cell to get them. I can just go with a probe and get them, see them when they come up.